League Combine is on. Do you have what it takes to go pro? Here's Blake with the details on how you can qualify.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny Smith is here. Shaquille O'Neal. Big guy right there.
Ow.
Tonight, it'll be the Phoenix Suns going up against the Brooklyn Nets. Checking out Brooklyn, they're enjoying a better winning percentage to this point than we saw last season, an encouraging sign for the players and the front office. Some teams fast out of the gate, others not so lucky. Kenny, for the teams that have started slowly, how do they turn the tide?
You know what? About a week ago, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, when that happens, you can't panic. The season's just begun. Identify the real problems before you start tinkering on things.
Sometimes a lineup change can help. Things may just have to work themselves out, though.
Time now for tip-off. We get it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
It's the home of the Suns here in Phoenix, Arizona, as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from the desert. Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan courtside with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will join us momentarily from the sideline. For the Suns, they continue their stretch of home games. Guys, when you compare their performance last season to where they sit right now, not a whole lot different story. Not necessarily a big surprise either.
And I think for the Suns, nobody was calling on them to kind of set the world on fire. But even those modest expectations have yet to be realized.
Yep, any glimmers of hope that may have been there early for them have all just disappeared at this point. It's looking more and more like a season that will not end well for this team.
One of the interesting storylines of this young season, Brent Barry, the surprising early development of a couple rookies in the league.
Early development of rookies is a great thing for a young team because all of a sudden somebody's taken the reins. And I think coaches always appreciate when a rookie comes in, he does the work in the offseason, all that work starts to pay off. But now rookies tend to start looking towards somebody else, or the team starts looking towards that young player as somebody who may be able to handle and carry the weight of the franchise for a little while.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. A starting five on the floor. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Russell and LeVert in the backcourt. Jared Dudley out there with Allen. And it's Harris in at the 3 spot. And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That's his first foul. And they double up Russell. Down low. Pass to LeVert. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's good from the elbow.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
Suns moving the ball around. Stolen by Allen. And stolen by Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
And dunking the ball is just second nature to Ayton. With the right positioning, he's a threat to throw it down.
Now, here is Russell. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Philadelphia.
Loved his passing tonight as well. He was just cutting the defense to pieces out there.
And the basket by Harris.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
The Suns have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Ayton. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
And the sheer muscle of Ayton. Sometimes he's impossible to stop on the way up.
The pass to Dudley. Knocked away. Outside Russell. From past the arc, the 3-pointer is right on target. Russell's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Cannon, the pass to Anderson. And it's Ariza in the corner. Another three for Phoenix.
Oh, a little punch, counter punch action. Neither side flinching here.
Yeah, both sides trying to keep up with one another, but doing it from distance.
And that does it for the first quarter. Phoenix ahead. They lead by 5. 2K Sports back to Phoenix after this.
Why you think they call me ankle boy? That's because I'm breaking your ankle.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And from what we've seen, guys, from the Suns, what are you thinking so far?
So far, they've been active, scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
Well, when you come out in the first quarter with that kind of offense, obviously the game plan is in full effect. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going.
And here's Napier. He'll bring it up for the Nets. It's a 5-point game. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And they really got after it from a defensive standpoint throughout that entire game. The turnovers they forced really tell the story.
So active defensively. And I love when they did force a turnover, they just flat out attacked. The points they got off turnovers swung the game in their favor.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. They've got Napier, Allen Crabbe out there with Hollis Jefferson. Then there's Davis, and it's Dinwiddie in at the 2 spot.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
What's the saying? If you're going to lose big. A lot of teams adopting that strategy again last season, the final year before the lottery odds are going through some new machinations and a bit of a change. The Suns, though, they kind of took the cake last year and ended up with the #1 pick.
It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Devin Booker is a 20-point-per-game scorer since his 2nd season in the league. And he knows you have to have confidence to be a great shooter. He said, know the work you've put in, trust your game. Just because you miss shots, you can't doubt yourself. They're supposed to fall, and they will if you keep shooting. Kevin?
Next shot mentality for sure. Thanks, DA. Now, here's Warren. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. Here's Ayton. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
You know, even when you contest Ayton, he still is capable of making it, especially when he's that close.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
And they've let things get out of hand. Good time to reconvene.
They're just on the wrong end right now of a big run, and they need to plan how they're going to shift the momentum of the game.
And a new group in for the Nets. Allen's checked in for Davis. Harris comes in for Crabbe. LeVert's checked in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Russell in for Napier. Here's Hollis Jefferson. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia.
Well, I think he was especially impressive on the glass. The defense had no idea what to do with him.
Swiped it away. Here's Harris. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Harris has got his 2nd bucket tonight.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
And the dunk by Booker.
And Booker loves the feel of that when the 2-guard gets up to the rim and throws it down.
And we're a little over a minute and a half into the 2nd quarter of action.
Phoenix foul call. Isaiah Canada.
The Nets shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first.
Yeah, and with this increased aggressiveness offensively, Russell shooting more and more free throws.
Jared Dudley's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. He doesn't get the second one. And so Booker will bring it up for the Suns. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And this is why depth is so important. You know, next man up, and it's pretty much the philosophy for every good team in our league.
You're going to have injuries. You're going to have nights where there's foul troubles or the starters just struggle. So you need a strong bench to remain consistent in this league.
The first one falls. So he picks up just one from the line that time.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
And Cannon gets it to go. Cannon's got the lead up to 12 now for the Suns.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
And the first half is now in the books. Suns lead by 12. We've got more in store for you right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. Looks like this could be an upset in the making. I'm Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. For the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. They saw their lead grow to a high water mark of 5 in the period. The second quarter saw them extend their lead to 12 points at the break through some solid team basketball. Very few wasted possessions and a strong effort defensively. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, right?
Kenny, how'd you think the Nets were playing?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
The streets around this beautiful arena in downtown Phoenix, the home of the Suns. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Without question, Trevor Ariza displaying his skills today.
Yeah, and the numbers don't jump out at you, but the impact on the game sure does.
Well, the commitment he has to fill his role and consistently fill that role, that's what that team needs from him.
With today's superstars often joining forces, Brent, we hear some retired legends saying they wanted to beat their rivals, not join their rivals. What do you think?
I saw a lot of joining going on from some of the guys who make those comments, Kevin. So that sort of stuff just eludes me as to where it's coming from. This league has always been dominated by teams that have at least two, if not three, upper echelon
superstar players.
Players that end up winning titles. So it's happening now. It happened then. It will continue to happen.
Booker and Ariza filling out the wings. Ayton is out there with Ryan Anderson, and it's Cannon in at the point. Who's out there for Phoenix?
Well, entering the league, Devin Booker really had some troubles on the defensive end. So as much as we talk about offensively, him trying to get better, on the defensive end, he needs to learn how to be in better positions.
First free throw is good. And with Booker's defense, Brent, still being a work in progress, the advantage is he is still very young.
Well, the coaches have really simplified the game plan on the defensive end. So you do things like jumping ahead of the screen or pushing down the screen and start to corral guys into areas. That's helping Devin Booker establish some more confidence on the defensive end.
And he can't hit the second.
And if you look at the numbers for Devin Booker last season, I mean, he upped his assists and rebounding, his scoring and shooting percentages. He has continued to impress with his development.
And Greg, if you know anything about Devin Booker, so dedicated to his craft, what's next for him, you think, in taking his game to the next level?
No doubt. I think it starts at the defensive end. I mean, he's one of the league's best at scoring the basketball, but defensively, I think that's going to be the challenge if he wants to become truly an elite player.
First one falls for him. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Yeah, Suns coach Igor Kokoskov, the NBA's first ever head coach, born and raised outside of North America. He will not be the last, but a great opportunity for Phoenix as this guy's paid his dues. 18 years as an NBA assistant, including 5 early years in Phoenix.
Brooklyn with the ball. Phoenix able to drain the three. LeVert the pass to Russell. And there's the call on Devin Booker. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
At the line for the Nets.
And Kokoskov, a pioneer, the first D1 college assistant coach out of Europe, also the first in that role in the NBA.
Yeah, in the NBA, he reached the conference finals 7 times and the finals twice, so he's seen what it takes and what type of competitive environment it is when you reach those elite levels. And in 2004 was on the staff for the Detroit Pistons when they won the NBA title against the Lakers. So been around a lot of winning.
The Nets making a switch here. Davis is checked in for Allen. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Jared Dudley. Alan Crabb, he's checked in for Harris. And Dinwiddie subbed in for LeVert. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. Shabazz Napier's checked in for Brooklyn. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Offensive rebound, Ayton. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
A towering presence on the offensive glass. Ayton uses his height well to keep possessions alive.
Back to Napier. Got a piece of it, but they recover it. A second chance effort. And with that, the Phoenix lead is cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Hollis Jefferson. Phoenix has gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. And it's Ayton missing.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Phoenix leading by 12. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And he comes up with the deuce.
I like to see Jackson with these kind of plays, getting into the paint and then getting a little bit more creative with the scoring opportunity.
Good, nice play there from Napier.
They're going to have to come up with a better matchup. This guy just too much speed.
Outside Jackson to the paint. Here's Ayton. An easy 2 points on the layup. Ayton's got 10 points.
And this is where Ayton does the most damage. Inside, feels like he can score on anyone.
And so it's the Phoenix Suns sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. What a night. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Doesn't happen with every point guard in the league as far as setting your teammates up. Lots more scorers now, but right there creating the scoring opportunity for his teammate.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Dinwiddie and LeVert teaming up as the backcourt. Jared Dudley out there with Hollis Jefferson. And it's Allen in at the center position. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And the Suns making a change here. Cannon's checked in. And then for Brooklyn, Harris is checked in for Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. And it's Russell in for Dinwiddie. And the free throw, no good. We see more and more teams looking to push the tempo. Is that just a fad, or is this going to be a long-term thing?
If I can play against any defense that has no ability to set up where they want to be or have the matchups with the players they want to have, Kevin, I'm going to look to take advantage. And if that happens in the first 5-6 seconds with one pass, so be it.
And with time becoming a factor, that may do it, guys.
Well, leads are not given. They are earned, playing with desire and attention to detail all night.
Timeout called the Nets. They're down by 16. 1:33 left to play in the final quarter. Anderson, he's checked in for Phoenix.
Ryan Anderson.
And here's Harris from the arc. Passes it to Dudley. Outside Russell. There's the three. And the three ball is good.
And smooth release from range. Russell can just do so many things for you.
And Booker kicks to Anderson. Cannon dishes to Booker. Over in the corner, Warren. Over Harris. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Just like to see the defensive effort get better for their ball club. They can't expect guys to miss the mid-range Jays every time.
Allen. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
It's a shame because this is the team we expected to see fighting on every possession. I think it's just too late.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Suns.
Look at their number of assists.
You know, they didn't get stuck in those one-on-one situations, and they got the ball to the guys with the best matchups. Easy drives, open jumpers, and great ball movement.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for DeAndre Ayton.
He came in with a focus and brought that dominant performance to the defense all night long, controlling the pace of the game and was firing on all cylinders.
And it's good for 2.
Cannot give players that kind of positioning, and the defense also late in trying to alter that shot.
Pass to Anderson. Here's the 3. It's in.
And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans. They've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
And so it's Phoenix easily grabbing this one. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Jamal, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We have good players. We have a good coach. I mean, he put us in good positions to succeed. Our players play for each other. We don't care about who scores, and we're a real team.
Yeah, there was a lot of flow out there tonight. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.